have you ever stopped to think, I mean, really think, about how things like the sheer power that created the universe, our own human nature, and even how society gets along might all be linked? Linked by some kind of deep wisdom. What if, like, ancient sources hold these surprising insights that could actually change how we see everything? Okay, let's unpack this a bit. Today, we're doing a deep dive into parts of contemplation, the beginning of creation, innate disposition, and Islamic unity. It's a really rich collection, and it promises to maybe reshape how we think about, well, our world and ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. And our mission here, is to pull out those crucial bits of knowledge. We want to help you understand not just what these texts are saying, but crucially why it matters. How does this ancient wisdom connect to how we understand things today? We'll be getting into some foundational ideas, creation itself, the nature of human intellect, and really importantly, unity.
Right. So let's start at the beginning, like you said, creation and recreation. There's this foundational verse. It basically says God starts creation, then he restores it, and that restoration is described as easier for him. And then it highlights two specific attributes, Al-Aziz, the Almighty, and Al-Hakim, the All-Wise.
And what's fascinating is why those two attributes, Al-Aziz and Al-Hakim, are pulled out right there.
Yeah.
That sources suggest they aren't just titles. They're like the operating principles behind creation and maybe even more so, recreation. Al-Aziz points to absolute power, total richness, the ability to overcome anything, no resistance. And Al-Hakim signifies this universal wisdom and knowledge in everything he does and says. It covers divine law, destiny, his whole management of creation. Life, death, resurrection, all of it.
Yeah, that line about recreation being easier, I have to admit, that jumped out at me too. It feels a bit strange from our human viewpoint, right? For someone all-powerful.
Yeah.
What do the texts really mean by that? What's the takeaway for you listening?
Right. Well, that phrase, easier for him, it's actually presented as kind of rational argument. It's tailored for our minds, for how we think. Look at it like this. If you accept the possibility of the initial creation making something from literally nothing,
Okay.
then logically bringing it back after death, recreating it, seems, well, easier in comparison. It's more probable, you could say.
Ah, I see. Because the blueprint exists.
Exactly. The sources explain it like recreation doesn't need completely new thinking. The concept's already there. And the materials, the basic stuff, it's already present. It's a way for us to try and grasp the immense power involved using our own logic. But, and this is really important, the texts stress this idea easier is purely from our perspective.
Yeah.
The perspective of the one being addressed, the Muqatab.
Right.
For God himself, there's no easier or harder. Everything is simple, effortless.
Okay, that clarifies it. It's a way for us to relate. So understanding all this clearly requires a certain way of thinking, doesn't it? And the texts talk about this, about people who comprehend. There's that verse,